So it was true all along. Since 2019, there was a plan in place to replace Sheikh Hasina from power, who was the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. And therefore, all the allegations on social media and mainstream media in the last 1.5 months since the start of the replacement of Sheikh Hasina by army takeover and interim government headed by Mohammed Yunus have come true. This is not what I'm saying. This is what has been reported in the media. I'm going to present to you a bit of a breakdown of what this means and how this was executed. And it's not my original research. It's my secondary research, and I will share the where I got this from in the description of the video. So let me share the video now. So basically, we want to know how the US actually executed this regime change in Bangladesh. So as I mentioned, there was a covert operation to remove Sheikh Hasina. The US-backed organizations like IRI and NED were involved. There was a lot of involvement of certain officials who were based out of Washington, and they were tasked with removing Sheikh Hasina through a public protest or some other means. And this operation took a long time, and we learned why it took so long. Now, if we look at the officials involved, they were Chris Murphy, Sumuna Goga Donaldu, is going to land or has already landed in India recently. He was also the one which Imran Khan, the ex-Prime Minister of Pakistan, had alleged was involved in witch removal. He was also based in Chennai for a while during the Indian general election this June, May June. Now this plan actually predates the 2019 Article 370 removal by India. Now that is very interesting because as you will see later on, this initially we all thought that this was directly related to what India did in Kashmir and Pakistan, but this plan was set much earlier, much earlier than 2019 August. IRI had been involved in regime changeover in Mongolia, Haiti, and Uganda, and they spearheaded the plan, and Bangladesh was the latest kind of task that they were given in terms of facilitating the regime. Now, they created what is called the PAIRS program. This was in March 2019. If you remember, this is when just before this Pulwama happened in Kashmir, and India had launched its drive from India was going into general elections. So this is when this was launched. This was funded by US Aid and NED, and this 22-month program was designed to increase political engagement among the authoritarian sentiment. Now the key word here is sentiment on engagement. Now what does that mean? Was Sheikh Hasina really authoritarian? That's how Bangladeshis to answer. I can't answer for that. Maybe there was some autocratic blood in her. But the point is that this was an official program which was launched by America, and they now there are a lot of new agencies working with specialists in different fields. And the idea was to basically amplify anti-authoritarian, which is anti-Sheikh Hasina voices, and challenge Hasina's government through civil society and the so-called marginalized group. Now remember, the opposition BNP, which was ousted by Hasina in 2009, I think, they were definitely kind of suppressed by Hasina, but that was more because of their Islamist antecedent, not necessarily because she wanted to have all the power with herself. But then who are we to say all this? Now, they also had 11 grants which were given to artists and activists, and they created 225 political art pieces. And the focus was only on social and political engagement. and they engaged about 4 lakh Bangladeshi nationals. Now the number is about the 16 crore or 160 million Bangladeshis. Now it engaged 400,000, that's about quarter of a percent of their population. And if each of them can influence 400 people, you were there, in terms of getting all the support. Actually, they needed just 50 to 100 people supporting each of these individuals. So art and activism is what played a central role in this affairs program, and it influenced public opinion through cultural comments and engaging hundreds and thousands of Bangladesh. Now there was a Digital Security Act, and it was passed in 2018, which surely limited online freedom. IRI response was that they worked with these artists and so-called marginalized communities to kind of raise their voice. They also focused on LGBTI and Bihari community. Bihar is a state in India, and a lot of Bihari live in Bangladesh. Now, the Digital Security Act restricted online design, but the IRI shifted the focus to these groups and individual activists, making their efforts harder to suppress. So, in other words, they found a way to kind of get around this outcome, the limited online freedom of Bangladesh had. Then there was this whole COVID-19 political impact. Now, COVID-19 these people believe had a lot of potential to destabilize the government. But the economic recovery and the death rates that happened was not something that they were able to kind of put Hasina on the back foot of, because she managed the COVID-19 situation quite well. And however, IRI continued its work using the political instability caused by COVID-19 to push their agenda. And this, I think, was done in many places and not just Bangladesh. Now, in 2024, in top 2023 election, there were a lot of bans on a lot of people in terms of fighting election. And there was obviously a lot of polarization. There was violence and shrinking space. And even though violence was less, however, the legitimacy of this new election outcome was definitely in question. Now, I'll take you back to G20, which was held in India on September 2023, which is about a year back. And Sheikh Hasina was a special invitee, and she met with Biden and others. Now, this is what was reported, that Sheikh Hasina was given until October or November end to resign and, give power to someone else. However, that didn't happen. And there were a lot of people who were caught up and they were put in prisons. And somehow Sheikh Hasina managed basically the sword that US had taken out and given her the marching orders. And she defied them. Surely she defied with the Indian support. And that was where we come in India's role. Now, India has always been accused of supporting the Awami League's political hegemony. The point that India supported the Awami League, I am not sure about the political hegemony. Now, Awami League is surely a better alternative for India, because the BNP, the opposition, aligned with the Islamists, and that creates a problem for India in terms of security. And that has been one of the reasons why India will be more comfortable with the Awami League. Now, obviously, these agencies thought India was a problem because India was supporting Hasina, and therefore, whatever they wanted to achieve couldn't be achieved as much or as quickly as they would have wanted. And of course, they blamed India for backing the Awami League, and this is where India was started getting worried. And these guys are very going to execute this quickly, and we have to do something. So what they did was they worked with student leaders from various political parties. They conducted workshops. They gave reports about some of them traveling to Doha and Dubai and meeting certain people from the US, State Department and so on. I'm not going to that, but basically they They traveled in such a way that they avoided government monitoring, and they were able to build this grassroots momentum of the student protests. And the IRI was working closely with the leaders from across the political spectrum and moving much of its work online to raid government or oversight. So this is a very, very dangerous situation where your student leaders are going out of the country. The company is not aware, the government's not aware, who they're meeting because they're going from one airport to the other. You don't know their final destination. You don't know if their passports were stamped with those leaders and so on. So that is how these leaders were able to evade government oversight. However, my information is that the Indian government was well aware of this and had warned Hasina about these two leaders. They funded about 900,000 for these activities. Honestly, I've heard different numbers, but I don't think there is much. There's much more there than the 900,000 have been talked about. This is for travel, for living expenses, and for posters, for online activities, and so on. And surely these kind of funding shrouded in secrecy. How this money moves, we don't know. And IRI also established ties with Awami League. Of course, they were tied up with BNP. And over time, because this was going on for 5 years, they were able to make a lot of alliances with business and the liquidities. And I'm told that right now the Bangladesh army is split between pro-India and pro-US voices. So that is what has allowed the US to actually oust Hasina. Now, basically, this concludes the presentation. And my conclusion about this is that it is very dangerous because even in India, there are a lot of student leaders, there's been a lot of protests. So India has to be careful in terms of, what those leaders and students are doing, farmers and so on. Because they have had an election and therefore whichever government the people wanted is already in power. So no third party should come and interfere. This video is really about sharing with you what is published online and kind of putting some proof to the allegations of regime change as per of the US growth. So hope you like this content. If you like content like this, please let me know and subscribe and like and share this video. Thank you. And this was Samit from Talks and Down. Thank you for watching.